morning, everybody. Jan Hicks here. Jan Hicks Creates here, in fact. Coming to you with Flosstube number 85. I never tell you the Flosstube number. I never remember. I have to look at my notes. Flosstube 85. It is January 7th, 2020. 11:39 a.m. Coming to you a little late because all kinds of stuff to gather and figure out and organize before I talked with you today. Lots to share with you, some news I want to share with you. My life keeps on clicking on, nothing all exciting here. I am keeping up with my yoga, day 7. I hope those of you that said you were going to join me are keeping up with it too. Today was a core workout, and my back wasn't too happy about that, but I'm going to keep going and just hope that as I get stronger, that'll work out the remaining issues that are there. Yeah, other than that, I'm still surrounded by a mess, still clicking over in my mind how to get this all organized for the move. No new information on the move at all. It's the way it goes with this kind of thing. So yeah, things just kind of day by day moving along. The news I want to share with you. A couple different places in the cross-stitch world have come up with freebies to offer for to give help and aid to Australia and the wildfires. I believe both of these are going to different fire fighting organizations. I meant to look and see exactly which ones, and I didn't, so forgive me for that. But they do have the write-ups, and I will have the links below. First of all, Sassy Jacks has a freebie out. Let me actually find it because I do have the web page up here somewhere. Just a kind of a cute little one, celebrating friendship and the wildlife that has been hurt in these fires. They are going to donate, let's see, every finished stitch, and it doesn't say fully finished, so I assume just finished, shared with Sassy Jacks on Instagram, Facebook, or email. They will send a donation. Let's see, before February 29th, they will get all of that together, figure out how many, and send a donation to, let's see, a charitable organization helping with fire recovery in Australia. So I assume that is yet to be determined, but you share your finished stitch with them and they will compile a donation to send. The other one is from a Etsy store, Fiddlesticks AU. I got a new iPad case yesterday, and so I'm a little bit unsure of how to handle it. It's a little bit cumbersome, but this is from Fiddlesticks AU on Etsy. It is called Koala Australia Bushfire Appeal. All profits from the sale of this pattern will be donated to the NSW Rural Fire Service or the Country Fire Authority. And also, I believe, it doesn't say it on here, but I believe she posted that 10% of any sales on her Etsy store will go to that firefighting organization. So, like I said, I will have links to those below if you want to help out, if you felt helpless, if your heart has felt for the people of Australia, the wildlife in Australia, and you've wondered what you can do. This is one small way that we can help. So I will link all those below. I had mentioned in my Flosstube last week that Shazzy from the UK had created a cross-stitch journal, and she had reached out to me and she shared a coupon code with me for my followers. I don't know if any of you took advantage of that, but as I started to work on Farewell to Anger this week, I decided I need to have, I was using just notes to kind of keep track of where I left off as far as stitches every day and taking pictures every day with the numbers of stitches. But I decided, and I was posting those on my Facebook group, the Stunning Cross Stitch Designs Facebook group, but I decided I wanted to have some better way to compile and to keep track. So I thought about Shazzy's cross stitch journal, and I decided to give it a try. Now, I'm not a big one on keeping track, usually keeping journals. I just, you know, I have good intentions. I love the idea of like organization and the pretty pages, but I'll do it for a couple days and then just stop. So I don't know how long I will keep with this, but so far I am really liking it. I downloaded GoodNotes to keep it in. And so yeah, I'm just keeping track each day of what I've done. There's yesterday's work. The end of the week. I've even started to use it. I'm going to use this kind of sidebar notes thing to keep track of the work stuff I want to get done this month. And then you can also include photos. So those photos I'm taking every day, I'm also including in here. Like I said, I'm not real proficient at using a journal, so I don't know. At this point, let's say I know I'm not using it to its full potential. She has areas in there for keeping track of all of your stash as well. I'm not going to be using those. I like the X-Stitch app. I have everything in the X-Stitch app now as well. The X-Stitch app also has the journal option, and I have been keeping track of things in there up to this point. So I don't know whether I'll keep using the journal in there or not, and just use GoodNotes as my daily stitching journal or update stitching journal. But definitely all my stash is still going to stay in the X-Stitch app. So I'm not going totally crazy. But yeah, so far I like it. Like I said, I plan to keep track of kind of my work things as well as new ideas percolate, and new ideas are percolating all the time. I think it'll help me not forget them and maybe stay on top of them, especially with the move coming. Things are going to get pretty darn jumbled. In fact, I just thought last night I need to start thinking about what small I'm going to do for StitchCon this year, and whether I should worry about it before the move or after. If I worry about it after, I'll want to pack it with me just in case we aren't reunited with our household goods in enough time. You know, all these things that I have to think about. So I'm hoping the journal will help me feel a little bit less stress about things because I'm keeping track of them better. We'll see. That's the plan. But anyway, Shazzy, thank you very much for offering that. And again, I will put her code in the link below for those of you that might be interested. She does have a starter pack, just kind of some basic pages if you want to just check it out and see if it's for you. She has printable version as well as digital version. I'm of course using the digital version in GoodNotes, but she does have printable versions if you'd rather, you know, have the paper in front of you to write on. I think that's the main newsy type stuff. So, what have we been working on this week? Speaking of work stuff, actually let me find the picture for this. I have been working more on my winter flourish piece, and that is the one based on this word art. Now, I do want to caution that it is not going to look exactly like this. For those of you that love this, and I love it too, there's just no way that I could get all of the detail from this, you know, digital word art into cross stitch. But I'm going to try and make it look close. So this is what I have so far, and I do have some snowflakes that are Smyrna crosses. I've decided that this in here I need to rework. It's looking too jumbled. It's kind of lost that swirl feel. So I will be taking that out. But so far, I think it looks really pretty. So I hope to get that done. I just have a little bit more to do over here. I hope to get that done certainly by the end of the week and get this up in the store. Speaking of in the store, I mentioned in my Stitch With Me video on Friday that I'm going to be starting to offer custom cross stitch, custom designs based on your photos. I had hoped over the weekend to start working on getting the product in the store for that. I'm actually going to offer it as 2 separate products, one for a high-res version and one for the low-res version. Low-res version. These products are a little bit different than my other products, so I have to work out I just have to work out the details of how to create that kind of product in the store. These will only be PDFs. So far, I am not offering any hard copy type of designs. I don't know that I ever will. The thought of all that just kind of, I don't know that I want to get into that, basically. You know, all the shipping and the packaging and the printing. I don't know that I want to go there. I'm kind of playing this all by ear. So anyways, I really like how winter is coming along. Once this is done and in the store, I will start working on my spring one. I actually hope that by that time, we have a better idea of when we're at least going to San Antonio for the house hunting trip, so that I can visit the cross stitch store there and actually look at the flosses to choose what colors I think will work. Although having said that, I've also been thinking, as much as possible, I'm going to try and offer these in Mrs. Sada's silks as well. So like for winter, this is designed in Weeks Dye Works for the most part. I am going to offer a DMC equivalent. I'm going to see if I can work out a Mrs. Sada's equivalent as well. And then from here on out, I'm planning on designing them in the Mrs. Sada's silks with equivalents in the DMC and possibly one of the overdyes. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. That might be a little bit hard. This is all new. We'll see how it goes. Tentative plans, that's what we got. Okay, I spent a little bit of time this week on Time for Seasons. So this part 2 is coming along beautifully. You can see I have my little sheep down there in the field. Yeah, just love, love, love. Love, love, love. This is going to get more love this week. She sent part 1 out. She's supposed to send it out on the 15th. I think she sent part 1 out. No, she sent part 2 out a few days early. If she does that again, I may be stuck. I might get caught short, but my plan is to have this done before part 3 comes out, which I think I should, because this will get the majority of my attention after tonight. For tonight, and if you haven't joined in on this yet and are loving the looks of this, I will have the link below to where you can sign up for the Stitch Along. The majority of my attention has been, though, for Farewell to Anger. The colors are not showing as luscious and as varied as they really are, at least from what I can tell. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am past 0.5%. I think I'm somewhere. I didn't check my Pattern Keeper app this morning. I do have it in my notes, though. Hold on. If I can get to my Goodreader notes quickly. I think I put it in there last night. Did 247 stitches last night I'm up to 1874 stitches altogether. Woohoo! And you know, I kind of am not sure why I'm keeping track. You know, I've never really been interested in keeping track on anything else. So I don't know whether I'm going to continue keeping track. And like I said, I don't know what it gains me, because I don't really care. As long as I'm getting some stitches in and making progress, I don't really care how much. But for now, I'm keeping track. So Farewell to Anger started in the upper left, upper right, left, right, something like that. My needle minder is one of the National Park pins that I converted to a needle minder. Thank you very much, Anne, for that idea. And I haven't forgotten yours. It's here. I just have to get it in the mail, but there's some other goodies that I want to make for you. So it'll get there, I promise. I haven't forgotten. Anyway, Farewell to Anger. I am loving the organization in the notebook with the coin holders, the coin pocket holders. This is working out so well. It can be a little bit cumbersome. I do have this, I'm stitching it on my Lowry stand. So, you know, kind of maneuvering the notebook around the frame can be a little cumbersome, but it's just makes it so quick and easy just to have some of each thread right there for me to grab when I'm ready for a new strand, or when I want to, you know, when I cut off a thread and need to park the needle back somewhere, having them all kind of just together here, not a bunch of straggled down, and the needle ready to go when I need that color the next time. It's working really well. So that is that. I'm looking for a place to put it. Let me go back to my notes. Flop it on the floor, that always works. All right. That's really all I've been working on. So like I said, Farewell to Anger, tonight is the last night I will be working on that for this month, if my plans don't change, because in my world, plans are made to be changed. But I will be starting back on Time for Seasons, so I can get part 2 done in time for part 3. And I still have a chunk of this, I have all the sky to do, some of the ground, and then the big corner piece over here. So I still have a chunk to do yet. Once Time for Seasons is, I'm going to work on that for a week, and then my plan is to work on Shades of Gold for a week, and then English Garden for a week. So that's kind of my month, but still working on a smaller project like Winter. Once Winter is done, it'll be time for the Bloomtopia stitch along. How is that for a segue? Oh, MG, just like I planned it. Okay, Bloomtopia. So I've mentioned this a couple other times. I had gotten my fabric. I had gotten a variety of colors to work with. I am not using the called for. Gasp, I know. What a surprise. I wanted to show you what the called for is. Wait, let me find the right website. Okay. So this is the called for DMC, and you can see it is a fairly primary palette. Again, most of you know it's not my favorite to be more primary, but also those oranges, again, you know me, that is just so totally not my jam. This side of the palette is wonderful. This side just like meh. So I had to pink it up. Now the fabric they called for is a, I don't know whether she actually says in here, is I think a gray or a pale blue, and that really wasn't doing anything for me either. So these are the ones I've come up with. Most of them are weeks. This gorgeous beauty here, I could not resist. I couldn't find a weeks that really substituted for the bright turquoise in the DMC palette. So this is Mrs. Sadis. This is Mrs. Sadis Aqua. I couldn't resist. So you can see over here, there's still a little bit, this is more of a pink. This is still a little bit orange, but it has, this is, I think Sunset is the color. It has some pink in it, and then instead of having that orangey red, I went for a rich burgundy. The green they have is more of a yellow green, so I went with a more blue, and then the yellow has some more green in it as well. And then the only one I don't have showing here is a white. I'm just going to use the called for, which is just DMC white. The fabric is a 32 count Witchelt water lily. I still have to cut that down to size and serge the edges. So that does start February 1st. I'm going to have a link below to all of the things that I've chosen in case you want to go with what I've chosen. But it does start February 1st, so I invite you to join in. What they are asking for is, you know, this is a fundraiser for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Central and South Texas, I believe. And they are asking for a $15 donation to Make-A-Wish, and you know, it's a suggested donation. The patterns will be free, and there is a link, and I'll provide the link for everything down below that you will go to. The patterns are going to come out every 2 weeks starting February 1st, and I think there's 12. The design is split up into 12 sections. So the pattern will come out every 2 weeks, and you'll access the patterns on the Fat Quarter website blog called Jolly Jabber. And again, I will have everything linked below. I invite you to join me. It's for a very good cause. I mentioned before, I think it's really cool that it's actually going to be for the area that we're going to be living in. Fat Quarter is actually up the road, not too far from Austin. So, you know, that's where they're located. So I'll be living down the road from Fat Quarter Shop. How fun is that? I think that's awesome. Anyway, again, everything will be linked below. I hope you'll join me, a wonderful cause. I don't know, I mean, they're saying suggested donation of $15. You then will go to the Fat Quarter Shop. They have a project bag that they've made up for this. They have a needle minder. Still haven't gotten that. I have to get that. They have a keychain, and of course to get all the stuff to go with, unless you want to use something in your stash, which is of course perfectly fine as well. Let's see. And I think that's about it. That was a fairly fast one. I didn't expect it to be very long. I didn't work on a whole lot of different things. Oh wait, I do have something else. I have 2 things of stash. I don't think I showed you the other one. I don't remember. It all blends together. I don't have notes. Oh, well maybe this is Flosstube 84. I have notes for an 84 and I have notes for an 85. And I think that the notes should have been for 84, my most recent notes. I had some questions about some of the things on the back wall here. Hold on. Amid Amish life. I've had several of you ask me about this over the past couple weeks, so I thought I'd bring it down. This is the pattern that's from the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine from 87, 88. It was a set of 3, a series of 3. This is the one that I had started it on, I think a 14 count pale blue Aida. And then I went into the stitching post, which was my LNS way back then. I actually lived around the corner from the stitching post, loved it. And somebody had done this as one piece on 22 count hardanger. And even back then, I liked small and I liked big. Full coverage, lots of stuff going on. And so I fell in love with it as one piece and started it again on 22 count. So that's what this is, 22 count hardanger. I did this in, let's see, what does the date on here say? Oh my goodness, that's so small. So I put the name of the farm, and one of the reasons I love this is because, you know, we had a cottage up in central Pennsylvania when I was a kid, my grandparents, that we went up to every year. And over one mountain was State College, where Penn State University is. So I spent my summers wandering around that area, State College. And over the other mountain was an Amish village called Belleville. And my father was a farmer at heart, and nothing gave him more joy than to just drive through the streets of Belleville looking at the farms. And you know, just Amish farms are so pretty. They're so neat. They have flowers. I mean, they're just so pretty. And so when this came out, it just struck all the chords. But underneath here, so the name of the farm, and then it says JMH. I think that's 1988. It's so small. It's done over just on the one square of the hardanger. But I'm pretty sure I finished it in 88. This also has a lot of meaning because I stitched on it in my first language class when I was hired by NSA. So they sent me to language class, and during the down times, I stitched on this. I got my teacher to start stitching. She was actually a new bride from India. She did not know her husband. It was an arranged marriage. So myself and the gal that I was in class with became her first friends. And we did, what would I say? Field trips to the stitching post. The school was down in downtown Baltimore. We did field trips to the stitching post where we would speak in the language to keep it relevant. But anyway, 22 count hardanger for those who were interested. That was more of a trip down memory lane than I expected to take. Someone else asked about these pieces that were hanging on the hardware and what this was. These are Bellpulls, and it's Bellpull hardware. And if you search on that, you will find all kinds of different Bellpull hardware. This is a shepherd's bush piece that I believe I finished myself. This is, I think it's a Sulens piece. There was somebody else that I would get a lot of these type of counted surface embroidery pieces from as well, other than Sulens, and it might have been her, and the name isn't coming to me. But anyways, this is a Jacobean, and it has fur on it. What a surprise. This is a Jacobean Bellpull, and again, Bellpull hardware. This was finished by somebody else. It's much neater. Lots of different types of, I think it is Sulens actually, types of floss, types of stitches. One of my favorite pieces, and definitely what started my love of the Jacobean style in embroidery. And then I made this pretty tassel for her to put on the bottom of that. So that's what those are. Again, done many years ago. I don't know if I even signed and dated either of these. No. I don't do it very good at that. Even today, I don't do very good at signing my work. I need to at least put something on the back. Anyway, let's see if there's any other notes from the last Flosstube, or the Flosstube that it's supposed to be. I don't know. All right, that's all. I also wanted to mention my bobbin is having another sale, 10% off, but if you include my code, which is good till the end of January, you will get an additional 10% off, so 20% off. If there's something that you wanted that you didn't get, you can still have a good sale. So, stash. This is what reminded me that, did I show this or not? Did I do it in the last video or not? I still don't know. I still don't know. BG 1824. Did I show this? I think I did show this. I did take the time this week to call the attic and order the one from their January sampler of the month. I ordered the fabric and the pattern, the one that's similar to this. And that was Portafette, I believe is the name of that. But the other thing I got, and this came quick, all the way from Russia, Bayun Cat. So Carolyn and I are not starting this until June. We are going to start this together at StitchCon. How fun will that be? I can't wait. Their kits are wonderful. First one of mine from Al Forrest Embroidery. It has their hand-dyed floss, and they provide these little tags that have the symbols on them. Now they're like bobbins. I'm not going to wind the floss on them. You know me, I don't like bobbins. But I'll use these somehow because they took the time to put the symbols on them. How awesome is that? And the flosses are gorgeous. Look at those colors. Gorgeous. The fabric, I forget, I think it's probably a 32 count, I don't remember. They also include a needle minder and a needle. Look how pretty that needle minder is. Love it. But the thing that I think is really smart of them that I've never seen, actually a couple things. So they include a little pamphlet with some information, some basics about the kit. But they also, I mean, this is like, why did I bother doing that variegated, how to work with variegated floss video? Because they say all about it here. How smart is that? And they show the front picture and the back picture. So, you know, this is how it's going to look if you stitch one at a time. This is how it's going to look if you stitch, you know, out and back. This is how it's going to look if you stitch in little groups, what I call just kind of meandering. So they have all of that listed here. They also talk about their different colors and whether they have 2 color changes or 3 color changes, and what that means for how you're going to use the floss. The 2 color changes you can fold in half and have the colors still match up. So you could do a loop start and have the colors still match up. The 3 color changes you can't. So, I mean, just a wealth of information in just this little pamphlet that they provide. Very, very smart of them. And the other thing, I'm not gonna open up the chart and show you, but the other thing they do is they have the chart, actually it's 2 pages, but in one piece, and then they have some other pages where they have the like just little pieces of the chart all separated so that you don't have to work with this humongous chart. You can just cut out each of the little sections and have it on your clipboard or have it, you know, on your pattern with the needle minder and just have it, that little piece there in front of you. How smart is that? So I am very impressed with what I've seen. Won't be starting it until June, but I'm looking forward to this one. All right, I think that is all except for our angel card. Okay. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. You are worthy of love and respect. Surround yourself with supportive and encouraging people. Is that what you do? That's what I do. You know, they say that your personality, your thoughts, your actions are a conglomeration, a bringing together of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about that. Who are you spending the most time with? Are they people who are encouraging? Are they people who lift you up? Are they people who just in general are positive, happy, optimistic people? Or do you have people in those 5 top ones that you hang around with that are discouraging, that are not good for your soul? Think about that. It's not easy to change, I know, but it's something for 2020. Surround yourself with supportive and encouraging people. I am supporting you. I am sending you all the love. These are some very, very difficult days. There is a lot of anger and confusion and fear right now. As an American, I'm seeing it across my friends on Facebook. Know that I love you. There's a lot of things we can't control. Control your thoughts, control who you're hanging around with, control what you're doing to lift you up rather than to bring you down. and know that I am always here for you. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and somebody said, Diggity, I think, said, I need to end my videos with a Hawaiian word as a good memory for, when I'm no longer here. I don't know many Hawaiian words. I need Dee here to like pop in and say a Hawaiian word. So I will say mahalo, and thank you for being here. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.